Well, anyway, that's my joke for the day. But, water, a lot of you probably witnessed the water protectors up in Standing Rock. The nations, indigenous nations from all over the world showed up there. It wasn't just Lakota, Nakota, Dakota. It was nations from South America, and because they had those same fights with governments or companies or whatever. But indigenous peoples of this lands, they know the importance of water because it's our medicine. It's a medicine to us. It's medicine to every living creature that breathes. It's important to them. If it's important to them, it's important to us. So in protecting the water, you're protecting the environment, you're protecting all the four-leggeds, the fishes, the birds, everything that breathes and needs water. We're protecting life. So when they say water is life, that's it right there. 3 words, water is life. And so in my trying to become healthier, I made myself unhealthy by eating, and enjoying meals and eating till I'm full up to, my chest, I used to eat. Everyone loves to eat. But in doing that too, it made myself unhealthy, and it was a wake-up call for me because I felt it. I felt it in my back and my knees, and I was telling some of the relatives this morning, geez, I haven't worn pants in like 15 years. Always shorts and sweats, just like a teenager all the time. But I enjoy it, I like I said, I'm not anybody special. I'm just like you. I try to be as simple a man as I can, but at the same time, I'm in service to all of you. To anyone that asks for help, I'll do what I can to help you. And that's the way of the pipe carrier is to serve, because once you're connected to that pipe and that bowl, you're in service to mankind. So when we make our prayer, mitakiwase, that means when you leave out something, you never leave nothing out, because mitakiwase covers the world. It covers the animals and the air and the water and anything that needs light and water. Your prayers are there for them. And you do that, Jesus, we might make that prayer 10, 100,000 times in a day, Midakiwase. So in carrying that chanupa, there is understandings, and I know pipe carriers. It depends on who and where you've grown up at, who raised you, because that has a lot to do with the man that's carrying that pipe. When we're young, and I think I said that on that podcast too, but I'll repeat that too. That and you women know that when you have a child, they have a soft spot on their head, right on the top, and that closes up. I don't know how long it probably varies from child to child, but my mother, she told me that when that's open, that's where you fill your child with all the virtues and love and nourishment that child needs to be a good human being. So by the time that soft spot closes up, then that child has a personality. Their personality comes from their parents. And so in religions, we're all, a lot of people come from different parts of the world, Europe and Africa. And so when people are raised in those different cultures, their religions are built and based on the love that you get from your mother. So when someone in Europe creates this religion, it's from the love that they got from their mother. When there's a religion created in Africa, it's from the love that they got from their mother. That's the first love that you experience when you come into the world. Then there's religions that maybe kids grew up abused, neglected, whatever. Maybe, there's, and I don't want to say, a religion is this way or that way, but when you think about yourself and where you come from and what you know, what you believe, is it what you want? Is it the way you want to be? Or is there some changes or choices that we need to make in our lives? Do you want to be a kind person every day? I think about that a lot, and I think about anger, and I think about misery, and listening to all the dramas that go on, around your communities or your families or whatever. And that's where that prayerful mindset comes in. Because when there's drama going on, you can get involved in it, you can pass it on, you can do whatever you want. But if you're prayerful about it, you become smarter, wiser, because you're protecting yourself by praying about it. I make prayers for the person that said this. I make prayers for the person that they're talking about. That if it's bad, I hope it's not true. If it's good, we'll make prayers. But I always hear, people come up, Guy, did you? I said, wait, does it involve me? Is it about me? No. Is it about someone else? Yes. Is it good? No. I said, well, if it don't involve me, then I don't need to hear it. Go tell somebody else, because that's none of my business. But people, we like to listen, we like to hear stories, good, bad, whatever. But for pipe carrier, it's the way that I carry my pipe is, some people say it's difficult, I think my thought on that is, there might have been a chief or something one day that came out of his teepee and maybe had an argument, or a situation that wasn't so good was going on, and he came out of his teepee and said, oh, this life, this way, it's so hard. It might have been for them few seconds or that moment, but when I think about it, carrying a pipe it's easy, because I wouldn't be able to be a good bad person. If I was a bad person, if I'm doing drugs and drinking every day, that's a hard thing to do, because you have to have money to do that. People don't trust you because, maybe start stealing or whatever. You have to look over your back all the time because you're in trouble, And there's no freedom in that. There's zero freedom because, maybe people burn bridges and you can't get the help that you want. You need help you need some money to buy some drugs, that no one ain't going to help you. But when you're kind and loving and generous, people want to be around you. You smile a lot. Whether someone's angry, and I know people that are angry every day. Every day. They complain about something. One thing, no one didn't empty trash cans, Florida didn't get, someone could be like that all the time, every day. Find something to complain about and be mad. And what I would say to that person is, if you would be thankful and grateful today, tell Creator, God, whoever, that you're thankful. And they'll give you something to be thankful for every day, grateful. But when you're complaining, well, hell, He'll give you something to complain about every day, if that's the way you want to be. So when you say when I said you're poisoning your life, you're poisoning your own body, your own health. When people say take care of yourself, then take care of yourself. Whether it's with water, smiling, hugging. Because you share your energy, and you take other people's energy too when you're around complainers and someone that's miserable all the time. And but if you truly are a kind person too, I sit and listen to it, and I'll offer suggestion. I'll close my eyes. I'll listen. Okay, I hear you. I hear your... But see, my job is to be in service. So a lot of times I don't walk away from people's issues or problems, things like that. I think about, geez, because I don't get angry very often. And so when people get angry, I'll say, this is how I do things so I don't get angry. Try this, or if there's something that, that you can think of, I just try to help them to think about their own health. If you want to be healthy, try not to get angry. Pray about stuff. Pray for yourself. You can pray for yourself. So when you're doing your healing with your water and your meditations or whatever, you give permission to Creator, to God, to whatever it is that you believe. You give them permission to help you to heal. That's all you have to do. Because you heal your grandmas and grandpas and great-grandpas that have passed on. They're hearing you too, because they're still part of you. They're still around you. When you think of them, that means they're there to listen to you. And you make your prayer. And you give them permission to please help me. And they'll help you. Because they're energy now. They're light energy now. They're not here in a physical form like we are now. So your ancestors and relatives that passed on before you, you don't just not count them anymore. In fact, they're more powerful now than they were when they were on earth. Because now, creators give them powers of healing to help you. That's how we help each other. When I'm gone, well, I'm going to be helping a lot of people too. Yeah, so in like a lot of my art, I'll just kind of switch over. A lot of my art, they all contain stories of my past events. You see a lot of lot of feathers paintings that I have over there, and there's different animals or symbolisms in the feathers. And when I started painting, I started painting when I was like 15 or 16, and I stopped when I went to college. And I started painting again when COVID, I think, because we had to stay home all the time. Well, I started painting again. And I started painting, I think that I painted my name. I painted my name with and my painting's like 4 foot by 5 foot. It's huge. And it's got an eagle. And in the background, there's like clouds. But way in the clouds, until I point it out, no one really sees them till I point them out. But there's figures of men and women and children in the clouds that they can't see. And the eagle, he's carrying a pipe. He's carrying a pipe, and it's like huge, and way in the background is. But that's my name, is carries the pipe. But when I started painting, you see I'm wearing just 3 feathers in my hat. And the 3 feathers are my naming, the first feather that I went Hambrecha, the first feather that I earned when I went on the hill. And the last feather I have is Hamdecha, where I fast underground. That's the last one. And I was telling some of the ladies yesterday, the feathers that I paint are symbolisms of every feather in between 1981 up until now. I gave it away. And I gave it away to a friend, a relative that was having a difficult time, whether it's in marriage, whether they're sick, they're having difficulty, whatever it is in their life. I gave them my feather, and I tell them, this is how I earned it, and this is how to use it. This is how to pray with it. This is how I give it to you to help you. And so from 1981 up until present, I've given every feather away. So with the paintings where you see, there's a feather, there's this and that in there, but in each one of those feathers is a memory that I had while I was on the hill. That whether it's an animal, sometimes a real, like the one with the hummingbirds. There was there's buffalo and there's wolves and there. But when you're out in the elements, that's what's there. That's what's around you. And nature can take you out anytime they want to. You're at the mercy of nature, because if you're not feeding them, hey, they might be hungry. So when we go on the hill, we take spirit food. We put food out. We put food with us, around us, and we put prayers ties all the way around us. That's our only protection, is little tobacco ties to protect us from the elements or animals that can hurt us. And so that food, if something approaches, I'll put my head down and I'll offer that food, and they'll take the food and they'll leave you alone. I tell them, I'm here, I'm talking with Creator. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I know you can do whatever you want to me, but can I please have this time with Creator? And so that's how that works, because when you're kind and gentle to all God's creatures, then they do the same to you. Those are the universal laws of the universe. You know, we talk about all these symbols and all the laws that go with them. Well, and I remember had a short discussion this morning about that podcast, and Brett, he held up a book about UFOs, and I said, hey, I got something to say about that, you know. So he said, well, we're going to have can we do another one? So right after that, we start another one. But I said, your UFO book there, I got something to say about that. So I said, in Chinoopa ways, there's many laws, you know, and I compare again, you know, to Catholic Church. Well, there's 10 Commandments, but in Chinoopa, there's a Kit Fox Society. There's 48 spiritual laws, how to govern yourself, your life, your family, your children, how to take care of each other. And then on top of that, then there's universal and spiritual laws. But what I'll get back to is that UFO thing, you know, that book. I said, hey, UFOs, awesome. I said, but from what I understand and what I believe is these universal laws, they're not just for human beings. They're for as big as the universe is, the galaxies and all that. They follow those laws. That's why they call them universal laws. And the UFOs, they're not here to hurt anybody. You know, like the Earth's been here how many billions of years, and if they wanted to destroy it, they would have destroyed it, right? But you see movies made about aliens and UFOs and all that good stuff, you know. They're not here to hurt anybody. They're here to remind you people on earth are the only ones not following these universal laws of love and gratitude and all the good stuff. We're here not to hurt you, but to let you know that there is so much that you are not doing. No one's here to hurt you. They come from creation too. God created them too. Tukashina, part of all that, he's God too. They don't come to hurt anybody. Everything that comes to you is, there's a reason and an understanding, and most of it is to help you. Not here to hurt you. It's like, when people go through life and they create these stories about aliens and demons and ghosts and, all the horror films Hollywood creates, they make people afraid to, and they start to believe, what you see on them big screens. I always think, geez, boy, someone's really got a sick mind to tell a story like that and want people to watch that and see it and all the horror that goes on in Hollywood, sometimes. In fact, I think me and my wife, we haven't been to a movie in, 15, 20 years. We don't go to movies. But, all the changes and choices we make in our life, it is simple, because when you think about yourself and your health and your mind, how you want to be, then do it, just do it. Like Yoda says, there is no try, only do. Well, everyone out there that wears Nike, just do it. That's good. I like that. But the other part too, when it comes to yourself and your health, your spirituality, your belief systems, sometimes that do turns to try, because every day we're trying to be better person, better person, better person. So if Creator, God is part of your life and you're created in that image, like they say in the church over there, well, trying is all that He asks of you, to try every day. Even if you don't succeed, next day, try some more. So sometimes that do is maybe it doesn't apply, but just keep trying. Just keep trying. Keep doing. And I know for myself, I know my health is over the years running on concrete, and I was in the Navy, so I used to run around ship's decks and moving back and forth, but my knees are kind of shot now. But I'm losing weight and they're starting to feel a lot better. So for myself, when I start taking better care of myself, then I feel it. I feel it. I feel good up here talking to you. My mind's clear. And, I don't even have an outline to follow, but it's because of water, because of your thoughts, the way we think and carry ourselves. And simply as, don't make it difficult. Make it as simple as you can, and be a simple human being. Sometimes that's all we need to be. Or you could be sacred and, go out and change the world. How people say, I'm going to change the world. Well, my world's not very big. I got my family and that's my world. So I do the best in that, where I go to work with all my boys, that's my world. So I do the best in that world to help them. And it may not seem a lot, but when the kids graduate, I feel it. I feel it. They tell me, they share it, they show it through their actions, So sometimes life gets difficult, I know, like for us, I don't work in the summertime, so every summer we struggle, with finances and like that, but that's okay. If I don't have money, you don't get money, I guess, But but when I get back to work, then things get back to normal. It just takes a little while, but yeah, that's kind of how things go. I know we're all in the same boat, but I wanna also say to all of you to visit, all your vendors and the artists and your jewelry makers, and especially this one over here. That's like, but yeah, I start coming to these conferences after my brother passed away. He was like the spokesperson for star knowledge, for the understandings of how star knowledge works through the Chanupa and how it is part of our people. And it's evident, when you could look at any nation of indigenous peoples and you see they're not the wealthiest people in the world. They have their culture, but the culture it's not a money-making lifestyle. It's a prayerful lifestyle, and I always think, Our ancestors, when they lived, they only took what they needed for living day to day, which was simple. But like me now, I'm still working, and now my train of thought goes to retirement. So that's and when you're young, you don't think of stuff like that. You don't think about how, if I don't work, okay, what am I going to do? But me and my wife, we talk, and we have a plan. We're not going to be wealthy or nothing like that, but we do what we need to get by, and we're thankful and grateful for that every day when that happens. So, okay, well, Creator is going to help us tomorrow again, because we're thankful. We're thankful, and that's how we think. That's how we believe, and that's how we try to pass that on to our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren. Me and my wife were great-great-grandma and grandpa. We have been for a few years. But, I think some of our grandchildren are here, but they're sleeping yet. They came down. But yeah, because they want to, our grandchildren, they come over, the ones that are close by, they come over every day. And they give us hugs, and as much as we can understand them, they're happy. And we're sharing meals, and we share little tidbits of knowledge here and there. Oh, Grandpa, what's this painting of? Oh, good, I got a story to tell. It's not just a bear. This is the story behind it. So yeah, so then they turn into conversations. And that's a lot of the passing down of information, of love, of trust, of generosity, wisdom, whatever you pass down. That's the part of filling those little minds, this little soft spot. You're filling them with all the good things in life that you experience. So you can all change the world that way too. Because you're going to have grandchildren. Hey, this is how we want our grandchildren to be. Unless you want them to be like Archie Bunker. Yeah, there's those out there too. But sometimes we probably need people like that. There is no right way, wrong way raising children. There's just choices that you make. And a lot of those choices are for the best of your children. And I always try to make choices that if it's going to hurt people, if I have to make a choice that's going to hurt people, I'm going to make a choice that's going to hurt the least amount of people. And I'm sure you all do that. There's some people that just want to hurt people, though. I could see things I have a laptop. I don't own a phone, but I have a laptop that's my communication sometimes, I don't own a phone. But I put my art on there, and I see, I have friends that are young. There's friends that are non-Indian people, but I see all the drama on there, all the bad things that are said, all the arguments that are created on there. And so I don't, what do they call that when you don't block somebody or something like that? Yeah, I don't do that. I leave the people on there, even if they're miserable and hateful or whatever, because then I got somebody to pray for. Oh, this one's going to get a bunch of prayers today. But yeah, that's how I keep it. Even though I don't see him or talk to him or whatever, I'm still gonna make prayers for people that are struggling, going through whatever, divorces or kids are sick, people are needing money, whatever. That's part of being a good human being. And I know you're all good human beings because you come here to learn something. So take something home, something that's going to help you, help your families and your relatives. So everyone's pointing at their wrist, but I don't wear a watch neither. I don't own a phone. But I want to thank you, all of you, for listening to me. I try to be a very simple man, and if ever you want to stop over and visit about something, ask about anything, I sure do my best to help you, because I do put people's well-being above mine. And I just want you all to know that I love you all very much, and thank you for listening to me, and I'll let Nikki take over. Nikki, my niece, or someone who's the big boss up here. Thank you all. Mitaki also.